Okay, yeah. Sorry guys for the delay on YouTube. Basically, I was streaming on Twitch only by accident. I need to stream on YouTube instead because I forgot OBS doesn't support double stream. But yeah, basically, what happened? If you want to check the start of the stream, we just did the coin flip, which is on Twitch now only. And yeah, basically, K4ZNA won the coin flip. Yeah, so K4ZNA are picking the first map. And yeah, today I'm joined by James and Gaz, my two commentators. So say hi, guys.
Hello.
Gaz?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, and sorry for the delays. We'll be starting just in a minute. So what map do I need to put on for K4ZNA?
They picked Port Bay for the first map.
You.
I've never seen this map being chosen, so...
Yeah, well, I was actually talking to K9 about this. They said they wanted to do something a bit different, try out some different things, so... Should be in for an interesting evening if they're going to do some interesting stuff.
Yeah, getting to see maps that we've never really seen before be interesting, especially with two good quality teams here in K4ZNA and RA1D.
I think they're hoping to catch out RA1D and hope that RA1D haven't trained this map as much as other maps which more commonly pop up.
Yeah. RA1D with their double mouses as well. They do like their double mouse.
250-120s, an FE, and 2 IS7s. It's definitely a colourful lineup. But the mouse isn't what it is on PC, so it's good, but...
It is good when you can just get them to hold one flank, but if the other flank falls, then the mouses aren't very good for reacting
K4ZNA
to
doing their
anything.
regular IS7 spam from K4ZNA with 250Bs and a lightweight. It's pretty normal from K4ZNA.
The classic overpowered tanks at tier 10s, so may as well use them.
We're ready to go for the first match on Port Bay. Good luck to both the teams involved.
Yeah. Let's go right in. First game. I'm just going to check the room. Are the teams balanced? Everything's good, yeah?
Yeah, everything's good.
Two tier 9,
we've got
tier
them ready.
8.
Okay, let's go. Hopefully I didn't mess up anything this time.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here. I do kind of prefer K4ZNA's setup, but RA1D's setup is definitely interesting, and if they can get it to work, it should be pretty good. Should be interested to see where they take those mouse.
Yeah, mouse do kind of lead to the town side here, as it has two bases also. Like the random game mode of the meta going towards C is not really applicable here.
Almost my spectator set so I can only see K4ZNA.
Same.
And I can only see RA1D. Wow, what the hell? Is there any default that it sets only to one side? I
don't know, but I can only see the tanks they spot. So I can see the one IS7 in A.
RA1D now. I'm only able to see RA1D. Might have just done it by accident, or it just set like that for default. For next game, that'll be fixed anyway.
Right, this will make commentating interesting. We can see what K4ZNA's doing.
The A base before.
Yeah, and RA1D are basically going
to the C base here right now. So
it looks like RA1D are in town. There's one of the mouse, and K4ZNA are gonna spread out.
They are quite bunched up towards their spawn here, so
range spawn.
Not sure whether they're gonna.
Yeah, RA1D also quite passive at the back
push that or spread out.
K6 already in range spawn. Maybe trying to look for those back tanks at the back, and he's found a mouse and an FE.
K4ZNA team are starting to filter over, so it looks like they are going to try push this side towards the RA1D spawn.
I would presume the hit point advantage is with RA1D because they have two mouse.
Yeah, and the two K4ZNA 50Bs have taken one shot each, so.
As well as
taken one shot so far. That's on Toby, the FV here.
K2 has also taken it.
See if RA1D pushing on B here, because they might be able to squeeze someone in next to the building to cap B, and there's nothing Kazna can really do. They haven't got really a crossfire on it right now.
Well, Castle are going to have to do something. The question is, what are they going to do? 250Bs moving off into raid spawn, it looks like.
They have relocated the T-54 lightweight back towards their spawn now, so they're not really spotting raid spawn here anymore. Looks like they are sending the 250Bs around raid spawn here. See if
Let's
they
see
can catch
what they will
something out.
find and if they can pick anyone out.
K2T.
Well, Toby's there at the back, but there's the mouse. If they can panel their shots on the mouse and get high rolls, they can kill him.
Yeah, they're gonna have to high roll here. They want to kill this mouse with 2 clips.
Oh, the first shot was
And
473.
K9
so
misses one of their shots, so I think he's gonna reload right now.
Yeah, but the mouse is going forward, and there is an IS-7 here who puts an easy shot into his side. Looks like this is where Kaz going to get an overmatch and try and get a kill. How will Raid react?
They haven't really got the vision here. Yeah, they've got a 5120 and an FV covering that mouse here.
Yeah, Raid
They
are
need
now
to get a bit
pushing.
more vision before they can do anything right now.
Here. Well, Raid can push here, and these 3 tanks can't really be covered.
Yeah, they've relocated the 25120s. It looks like they are going to push with the mouse and FV on the 2.
Hasn't also in the town. Looks like they're going to try and come up behind and encircle these 3 tanks for Raid. This could be an interesting move. If
But
they
this
can get the mouse here.
I7 can catch out this Calm Seas here. Yeah, they've tracked him here.
Oh, that's very good. But all of Kaz's tanks are moving in.
Yeah, they're focusing the FV.
A9 on really low health.
More
A9's a
logical
one
step.
shot. Oh, they get Toby.
Need to kill the mouse here as well.
Dude.
Bounce a shot.
They just need to pen. Doing alright.
Kazna have got both caps now as well. Raid need to
Raid have
pull the points back right now. They need to kill the 1-shots.
Well, they may. This is looking more in favour of Raid just because they have that full health IS-7 and mouse. They're just going to be able to do more work than all of the tanks.
Raid managed to do in time here. They could win. They managed to kill the enemy tanks in time.
Those as well. Funny to see K9 not playing the lightweight actually. Normally plays the tier 8. But
See if this Kazna IS-7 can get away here. He might be able to win it for his team if he can get away.
Yeah, actually, 980 points.
Yeah.
990. Looks like it's going to be for Kazna. That's wow.
Well played here by this IS-7 to get away as well. Because if he died to that IS-7 and mouse, it would have lost him the game probably.
That was a nice job from Kazna. I'm going to take a 1-0 lead. Damage, well, about 2k, but at the end of the day, they still lost, so unfortunate.
Strange that they output more damage and they had 2 mouses as well.
It is, yeah. But, yeah, as
Make sure we can see both teams now, Thomas.
Yeah, that would be quite useful. So if anyone's getting switched. Bit more German in the chat, but
good focus fire by Kazna that game there. They just picked a target, ripped him over all his HP and they capped both bases, which just brought the points back to them. They didn't allow the full HP mouse and the full HP IS-7 to do anything for Raid.
Almost distracting Raid away from the cap so they could easily cap being, which that's quite a nice move and well noticed and then executed.
And as I said before the game, the mouse just can't react if there's a push on one flank that it's not on. Like that mouse just got completely cut out as he was in town.
Yeah, he just couldn't get up to where he possibly wanted to be.
Well, let's see what both teams do now. Kazna did go to the
will Raid change it up?
And Raid did go towards the town. We'll see if anything changes for this next game. Raid look like they are taking the same lineup again.
Very confident in that double mouse. But Well, even if Raid do go towards the C cap, where Kazna is more likely to be, those IS-7s are going to be such a nightmare to deal with hold down. I'm not entirely sure their tank setup will be effective against it.
And with them not having a light tank, if they do relocate the 5120s out to the corner, Kazna can just completely counter them by sending the 50Bs out there, which will be able to outplay them easily. No, we get to see both teams now.
Will be useful.
Who they want in. Kazna have made a change, put Koala in.
For the M48 pattern, gives them that's interesting. You know, if he's using the pen buff on that tank, he can get, I think it's 263mm of penetration, which puts it sort of back where it was pre-medium tank nerf. Which is quite nice, so it can actually be a bit more useful.
View range as well. Like last game, they were struggling for view range, just having IS-7s.
Yes, yeah, I think this is something I still don't understand, is that the tier 8 light tanks have less view range than, you know, the tier 10 mediums, so... lights.
Just for the mobility, like the pattern and the STB have got nothing on a T54 lightweight.
In terms of mobility, no, I guess. And B is going to be taken
It looks like it is a spread from Kazna here, but Radar doing the town tactic here.
It looks like Kazna are going to be able to clip out into Vidge here. But only one shot going in, no two. One from Calm Seas. Ooh, with a lightweight.
Like they are spotted though. It's going to
lightweight and the 50B is getting ripped.
They've got the 51. Raid have got the 5120s in very nice sniping locations here to punish anything that is spotted.
Sick is also taking some damage. Trying to get A.
Kazna 50Bs are now relocating out towards C, it looks like now. See if they can get around behind.
Ooh, nice shot there by Sick. Takes out the lightweight.
Yeah, that's going to give even more of an advantage here.
And Raid have capped the A base now as well. So
yeah, I think they were actually behind on capture points there, so that was a really nice job.
Yeah, Kazna did cap the C base before, but losing that T54 lightweight has
but Vidge is the one shot.
Cost them the points here.
Vidge is a one shot. That could be an issue. We're going to take his one shot. And it will swing straight back to Kazna. What these 5120s are going to do, that looks like, where the movement is coming from Raid. Will the pattern be able to spot them out? He should be able to here. Looks like I'm rushing round. Oh, he's not looking, and he's going to get hit by both of them. No one of the bounces be able to do any damage into them.
Two shots now, so they're going to have to be really careful with those two IS-7s now.
But got ripped. Unfortunate they didn't have the last shot there, but 200 health left.
Toby from Raid is now in the Kazna spawn, so he's going to be able to spot anything that's going to hang around there.
Raid are going to put Sick and Vidge at the back as they are the one-shots and let the rest of their tanks keep talking, because obviously
they have foreseen the Kazna push around the back though, and they have relocated the 5120s now.
5120s probably go back to that sniping position, so they may be able to cover that road, I think. 6 damage, HE. 9 damage, HE. Quite disappointing.
Not sure why Kazna have put a 50B all the way back in the corner there. He's on low HP, but he's not going to get any shots from there, really. Radar ahead on points, they're not going to push out.
Oh, they've got ability to do something. It looks like the 5120s are going to go up here. On the back, maybe? No, they've decided to turn around. Well, I think Kazna are looking for a weakness here in Raid, but, well, the one-shots are at the back.
Right now, they've just gone round to the flank where it's the two Mousers holding that side, which is unfortunate for Kazna here, because they're all relocated to this side now.
Here they are. You can see Raid moving across, well aware of Kazna's positioning, it seems, at all times, which is pretty good. Just get back in this.
Kazna are going to have to do something here as they are 25 points behind, so...
Oh, but it's only going to take one kill, so we'll see if they can get just one. That's all they need.
They need to find the IS-7s on the one-shots and kill them.
Yeah, but the thing is they're hiding at the back. They're not... It'd be really hard to get them. Fidge to just hide. That's pretty much exactly what they should be doing. 5120 gets hit a little, but it won't be enough. We're now over 800 capture points. Is it going to come from Kazna? Are they going to do it at all? Or are they just going to think about what they want to do next time and what they've done wrong in this one?
They should be
Well,
pushing
it looks like they're going on the
They need
mouse.
to take out the mouse.
Well,
He's the only one within reach.
I've got the shots to cover. It's not going to go well.
They have taken him out. They are ahead on points, but they need to not die right now. They need to keep their one-shots hidden.
They can do this. The 50B really needs to get back. So does Calm Seas. And the mouse is
They
pushing
need to kill
forward.
the one-shots if they want to win this game now.
Nixon is going. They are all going now, it looks like.
Yeah, Raid just need to send in their full HP tanks and kill them.
Really
Ooh,
close.
super shizzle bounces there. That saved Raid. That bounce.
Another bounce on K9. Oh!
5120 does manage to get the 2 one-shots there, and it wins them the game.
That was still pretty damn close.
Really nice players here. Very close game.
Yeah. Good work from Raid, but also good work from Kazna trying to make the best of a bad position they found themselves in, really. Terminator.
Just gave up all map control there. They should have got them in a crossfire and looked for the IS-7s instead of just pushing in on a mouse. That bounced way too many shots than he did.
I saw a few bounces up to 50Bs as well. That was from Raid bouncing to 50Bs as they pushed in. But they won the game, so it doesn't matter too much. And that was their map, which means we're going to Dead Rail next. Apparently, Thomas.
Dead Rail for Raid. 1-all on Kazna's maps. We'll see if it goes 1-all on Raid's map here. Raid are pretty strong on Dead Rail.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. Certainly see, but we played Kazna in the final on Dead Rail, so they have situational awareness of what can happen on this map and how they can best counter it. So I wouldn't count Kazna out for this one. Let's see what Raid are going to use. An ISU 152.
Yeah, we've done training against Raid, and they do like to take the 3 tank destroyers and play really passive on this map. And any fight that you push, they usually punish very severely.
As the tier 8.
The only real way to counter this tactic is to cap a base and then fall back. With 3 tank destroyers, they can't really push, so Kazna just need to cap a base and get back.
Will they be able to, or will they be too scared because they're aware of 2 currently massive guns? I don't know if we're going to have another one. Also, we need K5 in for Kurt Koala, apparently. Thomas?
Okay, thanks.
No, wait, no, they said no. Never mind, they said no. It's good.
Okay.
Juicy on Raid's side. Also, it's like we're going to have a Death Star. Well,
Yeah, it's looking like they're taking the exact same lineup as they did against us here with 3 tank destroyers.
high risk, high reward. That's what they can do. I like it. I like what Raid's doing. It's a lot of different tanks that maybe you don't get to see too much of. You see obviously quite a lot of IS-7s coming from Kazna. They're very much towards the IS-7 spam meta, but it's good to see Raid using a lot of different chats. Not chats, things. It adds a bit more variety. Apparently they want Fidge as a spectator, but that's obviously not allowed. Obviously, because people would just command from commentary positions because it's much easier.
Okay, let's start. Third game, first game on Dead Rail. Let's go.
Let's see if Kazna can break the camp hard that Raid have got right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
They do usually keep the Death Star quite central behind the B base, the Gorilla up behind A, and then the SU is up behind C.
That's interesting.
They do that tactic again. It does look like the SU and the Gorilla are heading towards those locations, with the mouse holding the central point.
Makes sense. And I7 and E100.
They are going to hold the A base a bit more strongly than they did against us, though, with an E100 and an I7.
It's interesting. Interesting. What Kazna will do, my opinion, going for C would probably be the best idea.
The problem with B though is the Death Star can actually probably get headshots, and the mouse, Death Star's covering it from one angle.
Yeah, the Death Star can shoot C where he is right now. Like, the easiest way we found to counter it is to cap the A base. You can just push two I7s into it, force the E100 and the I7 back, and then punish the Gorilla for poking and resetting. And then you're able to cap A and then fall back.
Last time we played them, though, Raid did use an I7, so this time they've swapped an E100.
Yeah, they have put an E100 in on that corner.
Yeah, I guess it's better, I'd say, a watchdog for Cap A as such. Just they don't want anyone to go near that base. So, yeah.
I guess even more alpha as well, because if the E100 Gorilla and IS-7 can tap, then that is a lot of damage.
Yep.
Kazna really need the information on where all the tanks from Raid really are, if they're going to, obviously, going to have to do something decisive.
I would imagine they would know where the tank destroyers would be, so they're trying to position themselves where the tank destroyers are useless for Raid, but 5 minutes of this is going to result in a draw.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm aware you can't really get a draw in Supremacy, but if there's no capture points and no one dies, what happens?
The team that does more damage, it's not about kills or hit points, it's just who does more damage to the enemy team wins. So
interesting.
That would actually be Kazna right now, but I'm surprised because they're trading well compared to Raid, even though Raid have those TDs that can just punish anyone for peeking even with HE. So,
and it looks like
50Bs are blind firing the Gorilla position, but not connected so far.
It's like Raid's actually gonna make the move. So well, the E100 went into A and then moves back again.
The FE had decap shots on him.
Or if they were aware of the FE's position, or they just wanted to see if they could progress the game.
And the good thing is the FE also had, the FE has fast reload, so you can basically decap the E100 the whole time. Doesn't need 2 tanks to decap even.
Yeah, so he's got enough reload to keep the resetting going. And then as soon as the Gorilla fires at the FE, then the Gorilla will be spotted and will have to fall back as well.
Yep, so looks like Kazna are going to do what we did to Kazna in the final and push the lightweight and 250Bs through C.
We'll see if the Death Star can punish them if they do get spotted.
See if they can clean the STB and the ISU out. They can. They're going. Here we go. Please.
The SU and the Death Star are going to have to connect their shots here.
From the ISU. Oh, I'm already seeing anything come in from the... And he's gone.
Pretty good
advantage.
Kazna here.
Good. And well, this is what we like to do on Dead Rail as well, and I think it's working. They need to make sure they don't overextend.
That was not worth it.
Nailing his shot was important.
These 2 I7s need to reset the mouse, and they don't. The mouse is able to cap B.
It's like Raid going for a little counter push here on the I7, the FE.
Raid, do you have the overmatch here now?
I mean, Kazna traded 2 tanks for that push on the STB and the ISU, and it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I think after they got the STB, I think they should have just pushed back, to be honest. But
They could have just left the T-54 lightweight there, spotting the ISU, and they could have felled the 50Bs back to Cap C, and then they would have had the base, and then they could have just brought the 54 lightweight back as well.
Well, they haven't. They're losing.
Much better for them.
Tanks are split up. Makes it hard.
Yeah.
2 IS-7s and a 50B left for K4ZNA here. They need to take out the mouse quickly, and then
They're going to need possibly an ammo. Well, we've seen a good amount of ammo racks in God's League, so why not have one in God's League?
K9 is now reloading though, and K7 goes down.
and UC punishes the IS-7 as well again.
This is going to go to raid.
Again, the C base is just way too open for the raid tank destroyers, so the 50Bs just got punished.
Well, they had it.
54 lightweight.
They had it. They did well. They got rid of the STB, but
they took the STB out, but then they got punished because they were still sat in the open.
To cover properly and gone back to C, and they would have had it, but they didn't. And we'll see just how much damage that Death Star did, getting 4 kills.
See if K4ZNA can figure out what they need to do next game to beat this tactic.
The Death Star.
Nice damage by the Death Star there. And
Yeah, well,
his IS-7.
high risk, high reward tank, and they got the reward in this game.
Raid are most likely going to do a similar tactic now. We'll see if K4ZNA think that C is still the better option, or whether they push A this time.
Mm.
The Death Star and the I-7 here really actually pulling out a lot of damage for raid, especially the Death Star. Very good cover shots there and 4 kills.
Yeah.
Looked like they paid off there.
Those Hesh pens on the 50B.
Huge damage.
Looks like raid are going to go the same. So a K4ZNA? No, an extra griller from raid. Well, that's interesting. Why not a Death Star again?
Yeah, they do usually swap the Death Star for a Griller on this side, I think.
Don't think a Death Star actually can get a good enough position here where he's not spotted and where he can actually have good shots, whereas the Grill is more mobile. And
yeah, Raid have had a lot of games of practicing this tactic, so they do know what works best. It does look like the two Grillers work better on this side. Have you swapped the spawns, Thomas?
Yep.
Nice.
Okay, I think we're ready to go into the second game on Dead Drill. So let's start.
So sticking with that 3 destroy setup, and K4ZNA also not changing anything. Let's see if they've learned and try something different this time.
Or whether they do a full YOLO rush before the tank destroyers are able to get into position. Whether that might work as well.
True.
Especially before the ISU gets up behind C.
Looks like Raid are doing something a little... Never mind, no. They are getting some early shots in here, though.
Yeah, the mouse is caught out there before he gets into the town holding position.
And that's nice work from K4ZNA. Apart from that, pretty much the same.
K4ZNA locating their FE in a typical FE position here at the back, behind the rock. Interesting position from the 50B though. Just bang out in the middle in the back.
That's so you can cover the middle, but also shoot the tank destroyer position on the other side.
Okay, 6 here, and the lightweight takes a huge hit there.
Yeah.
I see.
Not bad. Good shooting.
Again, poking tank destroyer is not their best option here. All the raid tanks need to do is bait them to come up after the IS-7E100 and stuff and let their tank destroyers do it. Whether it's spotted in the corner or whether that's a blind shot.
Might be blind. Well, that is a likely position for Aquila to sit in, so...
Yeah. Kazna do just need to blind fire their most likely positions right now. Problem is, I don't think they've got a good position to blind fire the ISU right now, because he's the one stopping the push right now. Like, he could just keep annihilating the T-54 lightweight for taking a peek.
Moves back. And K2 is also in a different position to cover, well, not really, I guess B if the mouse goes for it again. And C-cap coming out. Where is it? Yep. I don't think they're going to be able to reset this, which means...
Yeah, the 50B there just blind firing the completely wrong location.
That is it. C-cap. This is going to be really hard for
Schnitzel can just fall back now, and Kazna need to...
Because
this is a
have
perfect position for Raid now. They've got a base. They've got 3 tank destroyers that they can just camp with.
This is more than ideal for Raid.
I like positions.
Be very surprised if they lose this now.
Kazna got a lot of HP as well, so they can't really push in with a decent amount of HP right now.
Yeah, do you know what happened to the FE? Was that a blind fire that went into him, or...?
It might have been the mouse that managed to spot him as the FE fired, because usually if you're in an FE you do get spotted by anything that's down the middle there for shooting them.
Yeah, no real blind firing coming out of any tank destroyer positions here, which...
Like with the new equipment, the mouse will have probably optics on, so...
Why, you're not going to take a camo net on the mouse?
Yeah.
And immediately there's a reset on from Toby. And the I-7, you should know the Gorilla's there.
They should be able to
it's useless sending one tank in because you'll never cap it that way. They need to send both tanks in.
Terminator and Toby can just take it in post, just come out and reset.
Kazna just letting Raid gain the cap points right now.
I don't think Kazna really know what they want to do.
At the minute, they're just working out where's weakest, I think, right now.
Yeah, I definitely think they know where Raid
positions.
Pushing into this.
There's not much they can do once they've lost that much HP on their IS-7s there.
They're in A, but they're still going to be at a cap disadvantage. Unless they can decap C.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to cap A with just one tank. They needed Comsees to go in with K2 there.
He's just going to get caught out. Somebody killed here. No, he gets it.
Does get it, but it is a little too late. They are 300 points behind right now.
Yeah.
Toby, unnecessary poke there. Very unnecessary poke. They already had the base. There was no point in him poking that to get the shot in.
Spy in the middle. Huge damage, and the lightweight has been reduced even more.
Yeah, but what I don't see like logical here is why is the lightweight still poking there, ready to die, whereas the 50B is full HP in the corner, practically doing nothing the whole game. Like he didn't really, he got maybe 1 or 2 shots in, but he could have been relocated to some other position. You know, since the raid already capped C, so there was no point in, how to say, staying there. I mean, now he might
Very
be pushing
effective.
the FE, but
Like, they really need to push A right now. Like, look at the low HP of the tanks on A.
I really don't think the 50Bs have been very effective in this game.
yeah, now the FE's gonna be too slow as well. And raid, even if they lose 2 tanks, they'll still win because of the cap. So.
K3 is going to go in and clip the STB here, but I think it's a little too late.
Even the
Ooh!
cap.
The ISU isn't able to punish him here, then it's
Yeah.
Well, they got
going to be a
Schnitzel.
decent trade. 18
still
seconds
work.
to go. Will they manage to gain the points? No, they lost a tank here.
With the pusher,
Not possible. 11 seconds to gain.
But Raid
300
can't
points.
points anymore. Maybe an ammo rack. If an ammo rack comes out. No, it's
too late.
Too late. They waited way too long.
good ideas, but waited too long to get it.
Juicy once again, top damage with his TV here. 4K damage again with the grill.
Really, really good work. Yeah, very nice place from Raid there, and they pretty much deserve to take that one 2-0 on that map, and they've 2-0'd their own map, which is quite nice. And it looks like they're going.
They did choose a very strong map for them, so this was predictable that they'd get the 2-0 on this map.
Yeah,
they are very experienced on Dead Rail.
K4ZNA want Canyon.
Okay, that's Grand Canyon. Yeah, K4ZNA really need to be getting 2-0 on this map if they want a chance. Otherwise, even if they get 1-1, like 4-2 down is still pretty hard, to be honest. Especially
because then you're going to be going into a raid map, and
and raid can always definitely 1-1 that usually, so that would be very difficult. K4ZNA need to really pull out something out of the bag here, and surprise raid, or make a tactic that raid just cannot counter, something similar to what raid did last game. Last 2 games actually to K4ZNA.
interestingly enough, we'll see what Raid are going to do. Looks like they're going back to the similar setup from.
See if they take the double mouse again. They do like to take the double mouse.
Will Toby pick a mouse? Or will
Schnitzel? No, he takes an i7.
Right? Schnitzel on i7. Okay. That's interesting. And this time an RU251 instead of a T54 lightweight.
Yeah, we're ready to go. First time we're actually seeing a tier 8. Oh no, actually, K4ZNA were using tier 8, but they were using the.
Yeah, they were using the 54 lightweight the previous games.
Yeah, Raid are only sticking with tier 9s though here so far.
I think it's a pretty interesting argument between the RU251 and the lightweight. Personally, I prefer the lightweight. It's a bit better, but see why you pick the RU251. So, K4ZNA are going to roll towards A.
The RU251 used for the gun depression and the DPM advantage over the
and it's also faster.
A T54 lightweight versus an RU. The RU is going to win every time.
Because of that DPM, yeah. But when you're shooting into the sight on an i7, do you want heat or do you want APCR?
That's the thing. You usually take the RU for the counter to their.
And K4ZNA have got A. It looks like Raid are going to have to do something in this game. That'll be interesting.
K4ZNA just need to go into defensive locations now. They've got the
mouse. I think this could work very well here for Raid if they manage to hold with the mouse and spot everyone with it. And
so he's only taking one hit crossing. That's pretty important.
Yeah, same for the mouse.
The thing is, the mouse is going to be able to outtrade this i7 if they keep poking at each other.
Because Raid
just got more gun depression.
Raid for the first time in this match are going to have to do a push.
They are pushing extremely hard against.
They are going to go straight away. It looks like.
Yeah, interesting. It's the K4ZNA spawn here.
Bouncing shots off the i7s here.
Well, those i7s there from K4ZNA are actually hulled down, so it's going to be hard for Raid to break them down without pushing in fully and really committing.
Yeah, they're already losing a lot.
Danny
of
and
HP.
Sick already lost a lot of HP for this push as well. And they haven't put any damage in right now.
The 50Bs from Kazna can just sit in the back and just farm them every time they poke, and they want to move forward.
This is definitely not good trading from Raid. They've lost over 2k HP damage on these I7s and done like 500 in return, and that's maybe to Campsies and or you.
Yeah, this really wasn't the place to push. Looks like a bit of
Kazna
HE
are
coming
40
out.
points ahead. They can't afford doing this bad trading as well.
Mm.
However, Raid might try Cap B here with Toby and JP, but I don't think it will be.
Kirk Waller has got some cover fire on it, and the I7 is just going to proxy them constantly.
Yeah,
5120
they're going to be able
Raid.
to do this.
Yeah, it looks like the
5120s from Raid running back to
The
that
50Bs are
I think they're gonna
relocating,
push
yeah,
Raid
but
here.
the 5120s are.
20s from Raid are going to be
Pushing
coming as
around.
well, so this is going to
They
be.
might be able to catch these 50Bs after
They're
they.
going to be able to catch the 50Bs out, but if the 50Bs can clip into the mouse
this will be
over the other side of the ridge,
Let's
they
see
just
what
need
the
to spot the
5120s do.
120s.
If they can clip one of these.
Oh, they've turned for the 120s. I don't think that's the correct move. I think they should have kept going into the mouse.
Need to kill the 50B. Nice. There we go. But Terminator just losing way too many HP there.
Nice focus. And Raid
50B's on reload now. They
caught
need to
out a
punish him.
rotation.
Yeah, and Kazna I7's pushing here, but K2 gets ammo rack for almost full HP there, I think. Wow.
It's
That's a
unfortunate.
really big game changer here as well. And Raid will be able to dominate both flanks here, it looks like. Because Toby's still full HP and 5120 is both still alive, whereas Kazna are 3 tanks down, so not looking good for Raid. Sorry, for Kazna.
This is
5120s are low HP and the mouses as well, but the FB is
he's just
going
going to push in and
going
just
to
clip.
DPM this
Campsies is getting
I7.
clipped here.
Yep.
Good. And
Campsies will go. Yeah, this is very interesting. I think, the
Raid
50Bs didn't have
managed
to
to
make
come
that
back.
play.
They were
well, the
down on
50Bs
points
didn't have to make
and
the
down
play in
on
the middle.
HP.
yeah, I mean, it was a good move from Raid there. It was very lucky that they came back in time. Otherwise, it was just going to devastate that FE in the match. Both teams are kind of.
Yeah, very lucky that they caught the 50Bs there. Like,
yeah,
It is, yeah.
well played.
If that hadn't happened, could have been a different story. The 50Bs from 120s,
like
if they
catching
were
them
just
as
a
they
few seconds
clipped
behind.
the mouse is very.
But
And the focus
7-0.
fire as well, they were able to take one 50B and then take the other 50B.
Toby 3.5 from the middle of the map in an FE. That's not too bad, and there's a 4k damage difference. That's quite a lot. And
Looks like they want Fidget.
they want Finch in.
Okay, that's done. Yeah, chat's finally started working last game or two.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, eventually it works, but I don't know, all the server issues these days with after the update, it stopped working again. Like when you're on PC, it doesn't work like half the time. So yeah, same with like the hit point bar, it just vanish. Like
Yeah,
3.8 really wasn't
they
good.
bring in a really good feature and then poof, it's gone again.
Yeah, I don't know why that's gone. That's such a really, really, really good feature, and they've taken it.
Yeah, we were getting hopeful, like.
Yeah, it was making games a lot nicer to watch because you could just watch the HP piles go down as like pushes come in, and
Is it best of 9? Is this
it is.
match
So
point?
it's match point for Raid if they can tune on Kazna on their own map. We shall see. It looks like we're waiting for Danny to ready up in possibly an I7.
Okay, and looks like we're ready to go. Spawns are swapped. So yeah, let's go right in.
Yeah, the same setup pretty much being used on every map from Kazna. I think it's very interesting. Shows that they're pretty confident in their like a universal setup, but I think it may possibly also be a weakness that they don't really
They don't specify
flex
for
their
each
setup.
map, they just have the overall good setup and not an extremely good setup for one map and then a different setup for another.
We're going to have a C fight here. Well, this RU251 Stritzify is going to get absolutely demolished if he goes into C. Well, he's actually done it. He's going to run away. Surely he's going to run away.
Raid are taking not the bait.
Yeah, he spotted the whole raid.
This could be bait.
Now he needs to get out of there.
Oh,
he gets annihilated. It's not looking good for Kazna right now, losing there.
Using their cherry light, and they're going to lose the cap.
No, it's up to Kazna to make the move. I mean, they could have pushed on this FE and mouse if they had tanks in position.
Yeah, if they go for the FE and the mouse now, they could have an advantage, but are they going to be quick enough?
Don't think so. Like, Raid are just going to be able to make some counter push or just cover them. Like, look, these I7s are already coming back to cover the FE and the mouse. So if
they know that that's the weak spot, and they're moving towards it. And then Kazna are still going to do it. Looks like they're going to go through the arch all the way round. And this could be risky.
3 coming out now behind, and he should be able to get a clip off onto the FE or the mouse. But
I would pick the mouse, but we'll see what he does.
Raid should be able to punish him for this now because they've got the 2 I7s.
They should, but they're not. They're not really punishing
shoot Calmseas for coming over the top.
Yeah, I mean, Toby does take 2 shots there, but no, I7 loses a lot.
And he managed to take him down. But...
Oh, awesome focus
Raid also
fire,
taking
Raid.
some damage here as well, though. But they already had 2 tanks now, so big DPM advantage.
Raid are pretty perfectly picking out their targets here and just removing them.
And Kazna 50Bs are on reload now, so that DPM is gone out of the game. So Kazna only have 3 tanks effectively who are firing, and one of them is actually capping the base. So yeah, Kazna very short.
K3 here gonna get Soundfire for 600 damage from an I7.
And more coming from the FE, a head shell into his back. More shots going into K3.
He does manage to clip the FE, but got severely punished.
But he doesn't kill him, and he's lost far too many hit points.
Yeah.
Raid looking confident at this point.
They just need to slowly ease in on them with the tanks that they've got HP on.
K3 should be the next focus. It's like Fidge is going to go around the corner. There we go.
Yeah, this looks like it's definitely going to go to Raid, like up by 4 tanks. And just
yeah, it looks like the mouse is going to go in for K2.
Looking nice, looking sweet, looking more comfortable.
He gets set on fire by the 5120. Kazna just not able to
deal with Raid.
Counter Raid's tactic here. Like every time they take the mouse, it's obvious that they're going to take him into the middle position, but unable to do anything about it.
Really, really good focus fire in that game from Raid, and Fitch coming out on top with 3,500 damage. I mean, look at the damage coming out from Kazna there. 4 tanks below 500 damage. That's
again, Kazna saw that Raid went the seaside and decided to rush their RU in there, not knowing whether they are actually going that way, and they just managed to take him out because they were that way.
Very good game by both teams there. I mean, Raid definitely coming out on top in the end, but some pretty close games there, especially at the start, I think. On Port Bay, we had very close matches there with Raid barely managing to win.
Yeah, they were very nice games. Nice to see a different map other than the canyon and other maps that we see on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for someone to pick Rockfield, but, you know, maybe one day it will happen.
Not many maps are, like, I mean, Middleburg is getting picked, but not many of the maps that weren't played before in the Pro League get picked, except maybe for the Copperfield, Middleburg, and now this. Like, Like you said, Rockfield isn't really a favorite either. But same for maps like Malnovka. I don't think we've seen that once, and that was featured in the Pro League. It's just not a very popular map, though. Quite tricky to play.
I think we played it in God's League against
Yeah,
Sparta.
maybe played in the Gods League, but not in the Gods League Pro so far. I think nobody's
No.
picking these.
We did see Lost Temple though yesterday. That was interesting to see.
Yep. Okay, I think we'll be going on a small break right now for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll see you guys back for the second game, which will be 1 versus Hapki. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly. Go. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. I'm once again joined by James and Gaz for the second game of today.
Hello.
And yeah, our second game today will be 1 versus Hapki. And guys, would one of you be able to please ask them? Actually, it's okay. Chat's working now.
Hey.
The winners will be playing Raid, won't they, as well?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
In the next round.
Gonna lean slightly towards First Alliance, but I think Hapki will make most of the games pretty close.
So coin flip's going to be tails for 1 and heads for Hapki. So let's see where it lands on. And it is heads. So Hapki gets to select the first map.
It's pretty good. Let's see what we're gonna pick first.
See if we get the rock field that you've
I
been
can't type it.
wanting.
Could one of you please
Yep.
just tell them that it's heads. Quickly try. No, it's not going to fix it after the game. Just when you go out of the game for a second, it just chat stops working. Like that.
They want Falls Creek. I think. Is that a member of Hapki? Or not? Wait.
Yeah, David
Okay,
is, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Falls Creek it is.
No
So,
Rockfield. But
it'll be interesting map though. Falls
Possibly
Creek's
next
not
map.
that common either.
This is not a very played map, though.
I mean, there is some rocks on this map, and there is a field, so kind of counts. Yeah, I do like this map. It's very interesting. Provides a bit more rotations and
usually very heavily armored heavy tanks holding the bridge, and then medium and light tanks on the other flank.
See a pretty normal IS7 spam. I wonder how many IS7s we're going to get. At least 6, I think. At least. Although it looks like both sides are going to take 4, so that would be 8. So that's quite a significant amount of IS7 spam. First Alliance doesn't seem to have their tier points fixed yet. They have got 150, 120, but are they going to go with a tier 9 or a tier 8 light? Going to have an RU251, it looks like. I'm going to have a Leo PTA.
Still not sure why they take a Leo PTA over an RU.
I might try potential to do damage. It looks like they are going to have a double Leo PTA if this
Every time I've seen the Leo in action, though, they've used it in the role that the RU would do, which is way too aggressive for a Leo PTA because it just gets annihilated.
Thomas, they want the Renault FT out and the Leo PTA in.
Double Leo PTA. This is going to be interesting.
That's interesting. Well, it's very quick. It has got good view range, and it probably has the best gun on any of the tier 9 mediums.
No, it's taken an STB instead.
It's not a bad choice. Never mind.
They've taken double 5110. That's what we like to see. PTAs.
I would have liked to have seen a double PTA. I would have liked to have seen how they would have used it, but oh well.
Maybe on another Leo PTA.
Hey!
Yeah, I think they will. The amount of times I've played one, a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and they have actually used Leo PTA on several maps, I think. And see if they do here in the tournament itself as well.
Why if they're taking a Leo PTA and a 5120, why not take a 50B and an RU251?
It's true. So, I agree with the guys there. I'd rather do the one or you because it spots way better than the Leopard because it has better camo, 10 kilometers per hour faster on average, let's say, harder to shoot. 10 on heat is practically. I mean, it's worse, but now with the bloody nerf of mediums, Leo PTA has maybe 300 on heat, 280, 300 around there on heat, whereas RU has 270, so very negligible. And you get a full 2 of 10 as well.
I think it's 300, and if he's got the calibrated shells, it will be 315. So it's not that bad. See, if you are going to take a Leo PTA, though, it has to do some form of damage. Obviously, that's why you pick it probably over an RU251, because it has the potential to do more damage. First, don't seem to be decided on what they're going to do.
Happy readied up. They're taking an RU251, 3 IS7s, an STB, and 2 50Bs. So that's the similar lineup that I would take.
And First Alliance looks like they're going to have a very, very odd lineup here.
They are deciding to go with the 5120 and the Leo PTA here.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an odd choice. We'll to see what they're going to do with that.
Okay, I think we're ready to start the first game then.
Yep.
All teams ready? Yeah, looks like it. So let's go. First game.
So my original prediction of 6 IS7s was correct. And I think these IS7s will probably just hold around the bridge, prevent C-cap, and then we're going to see probably a good fight around A will be, I'd imagine, where it's going to happen. Where this game is going to be made or broken. See what they decide to do. STV going aggressive from Happy into the middle.
Yeah, he's looking for the spots here.
251 camping.
Leopard does actually get a shot there on the 50B, I believe, and sets him on fire, doing 500 damage there. Pretty good there, the Leo.
The Habki IS7s have taken damage getting into the C base here as well.
They are taking a bit of damage Happy in the base. They have put a little bit out, but
they did take all the damage before they got in the base. They haven't taken any while in the base.
Yeah, he's going to get capped by a pattern. Yeah, I'm not sure why the 50Bs from, well, the Clippers from both teams are really in more towards the bridge. I would have put them more towards the middle personally, but
I guess they're ready for a push from either side. Right?
Yes, but neither side seems that intent on doing anything. Looks like the PTA and the pattern are going to move up here. I guess this is where they're going to have the advantage, because it's going to be a tier 10 and a tier 9 versus a tier 10 and a tier 8.
Yeah, that's a scenario when it can be useful if you're doing a 2v2, because you can just outclass or you with a Leo.
And the pattern will spot on our U251 roughly the same time. What's the pattern? I'm not entirely sure what this I251's doing, because he's sub behind a berm. He's had a look in these bushes, but he's not really been aggressively spotting anywhere. It's not like he's going to go and farm damage.
The Leo's up on top of that hill now, and Ryu's not really in a position.
I think the RU251 was spotted. I think that's why he's moving back. Yeah, maybe.
Pretty much the situation at the bridge is unchanged, very passive so far from both sides.
It looks like we're going to have this progression in the medium flank.
Yep. Now, the Leopard and the Pan could actually theoretically rush this STB and take him out.
They could win this fight.
Efficiency.
The STB's not really paying attention as well. He's looking for shots on the 50B.
Yeah, he's not really covered though. That's the problem for him. Like, that ditch is a good cover. If the Pan and the Leo rush in there, he can take him out very
the RU's not really doing a great job of spotting here.
Yeah.
I think he's been being effective in his role so far.
He's definitely spotted the Leopard for fire in there, but he should have spotted him way sooner than that.
Thomas, your slides are ripped. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it didn't swap. Sorry. Thank you for letting me know. Well, to be honest, you could see part of the game, but
I haven't really
missed much.
Yeah, to be honest, no. You've not missed anything. Don't
worry. Looks like something just happened at the bridge.
Yeah, you might just as the slides change, you get to see something now.
Yeah,
the Happy IS7s are losing a lot of HP.
The Pan and the Leopard are on the med side, whereas Happy Cap's
shooting into the side. Looks like the 50Bs
one are going to push in here. The first IS7 is going to take a lot of damage. Is he going to go down?
There's one from first, but there goes the STP.
First, really out trading Happy here right now.
Yeah, and this I7's going to get picked up, and there's nothing really the 50Bs can do about it because they're reloading. The RA251, well, he can't do damage because it's an RA251. Very limited
He's
in
now
that
coming in
fact.
with the reload, but don't think it'll be enough. I mean, they might take out 1 or 2 I7s here, but not enough.
And they bounced the back of one of the I7s. Right. Not done yet, but
Very
50Bs are
close
now
on
reloading
HP. If they
both
can take
boards.
out the Leo's just going to go in for the 50B here, though. So yeah, he's gone down.
good work from the Leo PTA. They're using that mobility on the tank.
Yeah, and he had plenty of HP to go in and kill him as well. And it's just left to this last IS-7. Not much you can do.
Wow, pretty nice work. Good work from the mediums, really, in the middle from first lines, able to shoot into the I7 as he peeked up looking for shots. And then they were able to push off the back of that. And that Leo PTA, one less said he needed to do damage. 2.8k and 3 kills.
That is what you need the PTA for.
Well, you know, that tier 10 gun, same as the Leopard 1, and used it to
The
great
two
effect.
T9s come in top on damage for first there, so
That's
see where
quite
their
a good
damage
sign.
dealers are.
It's quite a good sign. It's quite a good sign. Well, that's interesting, because if you put damage dealers in a tier 9, people are going to think less of probably a tier 9. And
Yeah, generally most teams ignore the tier 9s and focus the tier 10s, so it does allow the tier 9s to output a lot more damage.
so you get your farmers in those tier 9s. Certainly work, it looks like. Don't have any change in setups. Doesn't look like it. I think that Leo PTA has justified its position within the setup. Aptly's 250Bs unsure if they want to be here.
The problem was that the Hapki I7 just took way too much damage getting into the sea base initially and just allowed first to push in. It didn't even matter that they had an overlap of a tier 9 and 10 against a STB and an RU.
Well, I think because the IS7 from Hapki poked up looking for shots, and then he just got in the shot in the side from the pattern and the Leo PTA, and that allowed first lines to then commence that push. Looks like we're going to have an STB instead of a pattern this time for the first line, so... I think it's 1 degree extra gun depression.
Need to put Yuri or whatever his name is, I don't know, the I7 in the middle for first. See if Hapki can realise that they've got a push in the other side.
This was Hapki's map, wasn't it?
It was, yes.
It'd be an awful shame if they went 2-0 down on their own map. See if they can pull it back, get a 1-1 at least. It'd be an amazing
just take the advantage
start.
that they've got the extra tier 10 and just make the push. Instead of allowing that first tier 9s to do a lot of work.
Well, I don't think the I2 final was really very useful at all in the last game. It's basically like they're playing the 6 tanks because
He was playing really passive, it just wasn't spotting the places that he needed to be spotted.
a tier 8 to spot and then it doesn't do the spotting. What's the point in it being there?
Yeah, Leopard PTA would have been much better in the position that the RU was in. Slightly behind, just able to put out damage.
Definitely.
Okay, I think we're ready to go for the second game now. Just gonna check if everything's fine. Yeah, let's go into game number 2.
They should probably instead send the STB towards the A cap and leave the RU in the middle to spot. Because they just allowed one to cap that A base for free with no one spotting it whatsoever. Or even a reset going in.
See what they do though. No, it looks like we're going to have possibly more passive play from the RU25.
Again, happy going to the base, whereas one kind of sticking just at the back here, getting early shots, not doing much.
Yeah, and it looks like the STB is going to go immediately straight in for A, and the RU is nowhere in a position to do anything. Not providing any vision at all.
Abke actually lost less hit points this time taking C, which is quite nice, and they got one less I7 in the ditch. That might be useful later.
Yeah, took 2
Adamant
shots.
now has A. IE251 is yet again far too passive in my opinion.
Yeah, he could be like on the left here somewhere, just spotting out the STB, and even decapping.
Yeah, I don't know if he even spotted the STB who was capping.
No, he hasn't spotted him at all, I don't think, because he hasn't got a clear line of sight
I don't know why you
at
would
all.
take an RU at all if you're not going to go spotting with it, or at least use it as a...
Now he moves up to this position that he should have been in
Too
while the
late.
STB was capping A.
Yeah, now STB's in the bush, he can't get spotted. STB has better view range as well, by a bit probably, so not looking
But
different.
advantage is still Abke in terms of cap points.
See if
They
this
are taking more
RU
HP
can
here.
catch out this STB right now.
Hit points.
He was-
Aha, here we go. In fact, this
So
IE251
he's
is
just
going to
going to
get
let him
caught.
pass here.
Surely he's going to get
Or we
spotted
might
by the
get it
Adamant
again.
here. They're going to realise this. How have these two not spotted each other? Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
The
they have
Neo
spotted him
PTA
now.
puts in the
Looks
shot.
STB is going to poke, but the Hapke STB does put in a shot.
Well, if they can get him, they can get either one of these two. They will regain the cap.
The problem is that the 50B here, Ruda, he will have clear shots this time round because he isn't, he has an open position there to snipe. So they cannot really push without taking much damage here, I think. That 50B is pretty lethal with that 1.2k clip potential if they do.
Well, it's not looking now, and he moves back to the bridge.
Yeah. This might
And
be
more damage going
He
into
takes
IE2.
another damage.
He's now one shot, unless we get a low roll. Wow, the Adamant as well from First Lines has taken some damage. I don't know where from he took that 800
I think
damage.
he's just getting traded by the Hapke STB here. Getting all traded. Are you able to put in a shot into the leopard? But
And it looks like a
futile
50B perfection in, and they try to clean up this side.
Hapke need to make a push with all their tanks at C. Look. They're all
or they could
bunched
just
up in one
send a
position
50B to help these guys.
versus 3.
Well, with the 50B is now reloading, so it's going to be at least 21 seconds before they go.
Yeah, I think all one really need to do here is take out this RU. Leopard should have already went for it. Like, Romanov here should have kind of spotted the STB, and he thinks he's here now, but he's not anymore because he wasn't spotting him out. And now he will try to chase him, but they should at least take the RU here, and then they could just hold and let Happy make it.
Yeah, you should be spotted here, and he bounces the shell off the side of the Adamant.
And cap points back in favour of.
And the STB gets out traded from Hapke again. They need to catch out Romanov here in his STB.
With the Leo PTA just sitting in the back with his sniper gun. Doing what that tank does best. Good use of the Leo PTA, I must say, in both the games. Doing pretty much what it should be doing.
Yeah, they're not using it in the role that the RU uses because it's useless in that role. They're using it in the position where a Leo is good, which is nice to see.
Yeah, they're making it count. Certainly giving them an advantage. And
Romanov taking another shot here. He's going down to one
Tank
shot.
Zubo should be able to take
he's
that.
dead.
And now they're head on
And
point
first
again.
off
And
going.
Yeah, first he's just pushing in now to Happy. And this I7 is going to go down very fast as well.
this STB shouldn't have poked that 50B there. Taking an unnecessary hit there.
I don't know why I'm first going. I I didn't really think they had to.
They did when the STV
They,
did, but
they were
how-
behind on points when their STB went down,
Yeah.
so they needed to push. But
I'm gonna clip out these
20
assets.
points
I'm
left,
not, to be
15.
honest. And yeah,
Hack, you need to do something quickly.
It's
With the caps.
gone.
Yep.
Happy 2-0 on their own map. Oh,
Pretty strong start from one here.
yeah, they look good. Definitely using the tier 9s to their full effect, and you can see the Neo PT are doing 1.7 this time, and the 51.
Again, the tier 9's high up on the damage board, so
Yeah,
they are using their tier 9s effectively.
which is good. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly justify having 2 tier 9s if they are being used effectively. And
The
we're going to have
5120 has a tier 10 gun mounted on a tier 9.
so just the Neo PTA, so
So
I guess. And they want vineyards.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
Really good. Personally, this is one of my favourite maps. It's very rotation based, and it's very hard really to cap any of the caps.
Yeah, that's true. That definitely
Just got
not
a
easy.
very good tactic. So I like this map. It really throws it open, and first they've trained this really well, then they're going to be able to obliterate Happy.
no,
But
from the spot is easier to cap A, but if the enemy team have got people in blind shot positions, they should be able to get reset easily.
well, it is, but you can push the medium up to that position just under possibly reset. Yeah, A is probably the safest to cap, but it's still pretty hard.
Yeah.
First, they're going to have two 5120s this time, so no Leo PTA this time, as well as an STB and a pattern. And F10
Definitely
mediums.
looking for the rotational power with the gun depression there.
All very quick tanks. Kapki have decided on the tier 8 light tank, it looks like. They're going for the 54
Swap in
lightweight.
there RU251 for the T54 lightweight on this map. Other than that, it's the exact same lineup, I think.
Looks pretty similar, yeah. Oh, one of their members have left. I presume that means they want... Yep, they do want the guy in the middle in the IS-7. Apkey want him in... Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. Apkey just changed an STB for T62A. Not really sure why you do that.
Interesting. We'll see if the T62A works. I don't think it will, but
Okay, I think we're ready to go.
they can always prove me wrong.
I mean, I love getting proof wrong. I don't know about you, but we'll see if you can.
Really nice to see something interesting once in a while. Even though it may not be in the meta, especially if it works. Yeah, let's see.
We'll see where they place the T62A as well. Just hasn't got the flexibility that the STB and the pattern have as well.
It needs to be in a hold down, but it needs to be flat hold down.
Yeah. Hasn't got the gun depression to do.
Yeah, that's the problem with the 62L now. Like, you don't have the gun depression, and the turret armor's not so good anymore either. It got nerfed a bit. It can just be penned quite easy with heat from heavies, and like yeah, like you said, it kind of it has to be a flat map with a very slight, like curve. Maybe even where it is right now, that could work a bit more further up, something like that.
Yeah, Vineyards isn't really that map though, so we'll see. Very spread out from both teams, kind of what you expect. I'll look for
One
some
are
map
pushing
coverage.
towards the ruins with most of their forces just leaving the meds out to spot
already
and reset the caps.
Seeing Nightmare. One shot into him already. This map, really, your spotting is important. If you can get information on the opposition, you can see pushes before they happen and stop them dead in their tracks. This is really
Whether
very
they
about
know
who's...
the IS7 and the 5120 are behind.
Ooh.
Yuri there is...
Roman in the middle of the map gets 700 damage put into him, but they're able to do damage into the back. The 50B, David, down to 483 hit points. 5.
Happy 50B there at the back is really low right now. David is a one shot. Crazy also taking some small damage. So yeah.
Looks like here comes a rotation from Hapki towards the A side. That's where they believe First Alliance are. But the part in the SDB
First have
and the
relocated a 5120 towards the town as well, so they haven't got...
He's going to be able to come in their back as well. Hapki being baited. Is the question.
Looks like the first STB is able to put shots in the back of this Hapki STB, so he does have to be careful here.
They don't want to give away too many other positions, otherwise Hapki will sniff out that they're actually on both flanks.
Yeah, I think Happy need to make a move here. Like, they cannot just stay pinned here. I think the STB should just push forward.
Yeah, the STB, if they can get up onto this next ridge line...
STB and the 62 just need to go forward quickly, or just go back and take out this pattern, not split up.
Patton's just going to farm them, though.
Yeah, Patton's just going to get ripped for this, though. If he... Oh, but they bounce
and here comes the STB.
And they they need to run. Yeah,
they're just really slow on this rotation. They're allowing the meds and the 5120 to come all the way back.
Yeah. And, you know, 50 being a front line here, Crazy goes down. Crazy's down to 300, and David just goes down as well. Like, so, not good play from that.
Yeah, Crazy does go down.
It looks like it's going to go to 1 again.
Right, well, First Alliance, they're moving their tanks when they needed to into the correct positions. Pretty nice focus fire coming out there.
Again, did they use the T-54 lightweight for spotting?
No, I think
he was camping at the back again and just not doing anything.
He was with the 62A on the left edge of the city at the start. Really not used well, to be honest. Could have been spawning the middle really quick at the start or something. Yeah.
First Alliance look very much in control of making good amount of control. 2 zeros from Hapki. And well, the lightweight came top on damage in this game. Right. That's a positive. Hapki, but
that's worrying for their tier 7, tier 10 tanks though.
Yeah.
The light tank that's supposed to be spotting is doing more damage than them.
2 above 1000 damage, one of which is a tier 8.
Yeah.
It's on First Alliance, the 5120's positioning around the middle, and 3.5 from Yuri is pretty good.
First do go 1-0 up on their map.
Should be able to 2-0 it. They look pretty in control. Happy don't seem to be too much. Oh, we're actually going to see a tier 8 this time from First Alliance. Ditching the double tier 9, going for an RU251. And Hapki are actually down a member. I presume they want Ruda in. Yes, they do. They would like Ruda in his lightweight.
4 IS7s, 2 50Bs, and an RU251 from first. Very strong lineup.
Okay, I think you're ready to go. Just need to swap the spawns.
I don't know if you've noticed this doesn't look like the regular First Alliance team. I don't know if this is
I think they've changed their names.
They've all changed their names, I think.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like it's Romanov. That used to be Dimitro. Then No Skills. I don't know what that. Duranko. A lot of these guys just put a 1 in their name or a 0 as well. Changed their names a lot. Same as Kazna have done.
Yeah, the Kazna guy has also done the name changing.
I actually really like the Kazna one. Kazna's one does kind of look a bit cool, but you know.
Yeah, it's kind of long though, I guess, but it has to be, I guess, if you all want the same name to work.
Grades with the
The leader does need to know who each person is as well.
Yeah,
If he doesn't know who's who, then it's going to be difficult for them.
One are coming in with these CPBs below the bridge, and they're going to try to clip out anything that's crossing, but nobody's crossing up to A here. But the Ori does take damage. Oops,
a low roll from the STB1 though. Unfortunately. First Lions will have control of the ruins here.
Again, the lightweight. T-54 lightweight going to spot there in that position.
Well, I think he's
just going to get caught out by 3 IS-7s if they do decide to push.
He's now east to go.
He does spot. He'll probably.
He's going to take one on the way out.
Is he not going to get punished for this?
No, there's one.
He takes one shot.
192
shots there.
It looks again like one again in control of this map and happy in a corner. Like
look at the map domination by one here. Just boxed Hapke into one corner here.
They're already dominant from the very start, while Hapke just sitting back and getting circled around here. They really have nowhere to go right now. And the lightweight taking more shots, but he does manage to survive it.
Oh, they've managed to push Hapke so far back, and they feel confident in capping A.
They are getting decapitated,
they do
damage, and so is the 50B.
Crazy is putting in resetting shots, but he is on reload now.
Yeah, and Sakistan very low in the front line here. He's a 2-shot now. He can go down.
Sakistan is gone.
Yeah, the first IS-7's going in here.
The IS-7s are doing their jobs. They're taking the shots, and then the 50Bs from the back lines for first, putting in plenty of flank damage. And B being capped. I'm not sure if that was intentional, but
I would imagine just going through the base to get into the Hapke lines here.
These 50Bs and these IS-7s are pretty screwed in Hapke's one. They're just getting farmed a little bit.
They need to focus the target and push out, but they're just getting annihilated before they can do anything.
Yeah. They might have taken some damage.
IS-7 Roman will probably go down to the STB, but
the other 50B is now rushing the STB, so he can be able to grab it.
Yep, he's done it. He's got Roman.
Yeah, 50B's going to clip this STB right now.
Looks like the I-251's going to come in the back and... Oh, no, I think he's seen the lightweight. Yep, he's seen the lightweight.
The STB there, though.
Another 50B coming in to clean up the lightweight until the STB. It's just the IS-7's...
He's going to go 4-0 to 1.
RU's going to go take care of the 54 lightweight here as well.
Well, I mean, super nice game. Again, from First Lions.
Just complete domination there from one.
So in control.
This is what happens when you make a mistake like Hapke and give away most of the map. Like, if you give up so much map control, you're just going to lose it anyways. It doesn't matter even if you had a base and if you're pinned in 30% of the map, you have they had like one kind of quarter of the map there in near their spawn. They were all just surrounded there, and one just kept pushing on and circling them and getting perfect crossfire, and that's just not going to work out for Hapke if they do that.
So confident. 4k difference in damage. Well, the tank Zubo managed to doing 3.5k for Hapke, but he was kind of farming the back of an I-7, so it wasn't massively effective. The evenly spread damage, apart from my man. I don't know how he only put in 2 shots.
See if Hapke can gain games back with their map choice as well here. They need to pick wisely.
Looks like they're going to go
flustered.
They've picked Himmelsdorf.
Ooh, this will be interesting.
That's... Himmelsdorf is very much in my opinion, a map that pretty much will go down to 7 tanks, and it will be down to individual skill and trading.
Yeah, and
from what I've seen so far,
very strong.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far this evening
on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, I mean, ones definitely are strong on this map, but I've also seen Hapke play quite well, even against us. They're very solid with their positioning. So let's see which team can, I think, hold better on that decap and trade better. I think it'll come down to that, and also some maybe quick rotations around the sides with some tanks. But this will be an interesting one to see, certainly.
Thomas.
Yeah.
You picked Winter Malinovka, not Himmelsdorf.
Feels bad, man.
does
Right
indeed.
beside each other as well, so that's what I'm
Good job you noticed that, because I didn't notice that.
Oh, David put it in chat, why Malinovka? And I was confused that I looked at the map.
We know what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, you do. I don't.
Well, Hapke seems to be pretty confident with the setup that they've chosen. Again, the T62A. I think it's too far out of the matter, but okay. And a T54 lightweight, and the rest I7s. Makes sense.
5 IS7s, a T62A and a T54 lightweight.
Totally interesting. This is... So, you know how we said the 62A didn't really work on vineyards because it had more big elevated and big depressions. We've got those little, like, rubble bits, which are perfect for a 62A to just poke out and get those auto ricochet zones going.
Yeah, we'll see if Hapke can make use of the T62A on this very flat map, to say the least.
That would have been interesting, but they didn't. Well. And 4 IS7s from First Alliance, an I251, 250Bs. Push. They are
Match
down on
points.
armor. It is match point. Would be a shame to see a 5-0, but at least one
See
game.
if one used the 50Bs for rotation power as well.
I think I will. I think,
Two
you know, if
50Bs and an RU should be able to take out a T62A and a T54 lightweight fairly easily.
yeah, in my opinion, if Hapke go to A with those two tanks, they're going to get absolutely wrecked.
Okay. I think we should be ready to go. Third map, first game.
Will it be the last? Personally, obviously, for entertainment value, as Sam would say, we want Hapke to now win 4 in a row till we can take it to tiebreaker.
They are on their map to do it, let's see.
Can they get the momentum going? Or will First Alliance complete their domination?
They have been close, but that last game on Vineyards was just showing how great they are as a team.
Those 50Bs not going to A, as we thought they might. It's interesting.
It's like they're
And
just going to push D.
With one are going straight
yeah,
for
looks
D.
like
I
it.
think that's the only reason they take the 50Bs here, is to push fairly quickly.
Looks like I want this game over and done with pretty damn quick. It's gonna go, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like they're going.
Nope, they're not even gonna cap D, they're just gonna go. And here it comes from First Alliance. Now it's gonna be who can focus fire the better. You can share hit points the
50Bs
better.
are just
And
going to clip out these
coming out.
IS7s here.
one gone from... Well, Hapke countered this. Looks like they're going in the back
Look
to try
at
and
that
remove
damage.
Rory.
2,000
he's
damage
just-
done in a few seconds.
The IE251 trying to get around the back. You can pen a heat on the back of the I7. Back.
It is pretty
He
close
gets
here.
a fire there, but 3 caps for Hapke.
They can take out Romanov,
Okay.
yes.
They've done it.
Happy are still in this, to be honest, because
They are,
They
yeah.
can
If they can
focus
get
down the
on
low
it.
HP targets that one have got, they might be able to pull this off.
however, this
Is
Looks
that
like they are
50
going to go in
reloaded?
here for this 50B and the I7.
HP's reloading, which means Hornet. They need to get Hornet. They shouldn't shoot the 50B. They need to get Hornet. They've got Hornet.
now they need to kill these 50Bs before they clip onto them. And 50Bs are both reloading, so they're running away.
Which means that 62A can go around the back. Possibly able to put in some back shots.
Oh, the I7 bounces his shot. That would have been the killing shot on the I7 then.
We thought the 62A was going to be important. How important is he going to be able to put out the damage that he needs to right now?
The I7 does manage to take down
That's
no
nice.
skills.
This is still really close, and Happy could even take this. They still have the HP,
Close.
get more HP.
But
and more cap.
Hapke have such a cap
Oh,
advantage.
the 50B just not paying attention there, taking a shot from the I7.
That's the thing, because the lightweight and the 62A can both easily pen a 50B. So
Yeah, all of one's tanks are just easy to pen right now. For
one have no armor left, and
Yeah.
Hapke are just going to sit back and let
Yeah.
Cap
They can
There's not
just
much
sit
one
and
can do,
relax
really.
while the 3 bases tick away. One have
yeah.
got to make the move here, but they haven't got really the HP to do it.
Looks like
Especially
Perfection's going to
against
go for
the...
the 62A to the 62A. Looks like he's going to read the move.
With 62, are you going to get
Does he,
clipped now? Can
he just needs to get one shot in.
Oh!
Oh,
Now counter rotation coming in from I7.
going.
Pushing on
What is
the
Dave
ankle
going to
here.
do?
54 lightweight
But the
needs to
lightweight
pick
should
up this
54
RU right
lightweight
now.
versus RU251.
50B
David's going
is
round on the
7, but he
50B,
should be able to
but the
go down.
50B bounces one,
Yeah.
bounces one,
Lucky
which
bounce there
means
for I7.
David will be able to pick him
Now
up.
But
he
he's
does
taken
The
take
the
out
lightweight
50B.
can actually get this kill if he's reloaded. What's going to do is
50B
pen.
should be reloaded.
Oh, he low rolls!
3 HP, and he takes
But now the
down.
50B.
But look at the cap,
And the I7
Oh,
manages to get the
wow.
HE on him.
That was a good game.
Well played by Hapke there,
Wow.
showing that they're not down and outs yet.
I mean, we wanted a close game. We wanted entertainment. 4.6k from David. I mean, I don't know if he's their Clan Wars leader. He has been picking the maps, but I mean, he's picked up his team and slung them on his back in that one. Oh, that was close. Yeah, that was definitely the best game we've had so far.
Very close. Getting flashbacks from the Rig 1 games there.
Yeah, I can see the similarities. Wow. Wow. I mean, you see why both these teams are in God's League Pro, because when they both do turn up...
See if Hapke can win this next game. It's still match point for 1.
They're going to have a little confidence boost now. They're going to go, okay, we can beat first. Let's just win another one and move on to the next map. But the thing is there are on match point first alliance. It only takes one mistake from Hapke and first wins the match.
Yeah, Hapke can't make any mistakes now. They've got to play
They're going
very
to win
well.
5 straight if they want to do this. It's
They
possible.
first need Romker, I think, as well, Thomas.
Yeah. Double STI from First Alliance. It's interesting. We tried this on Himmelsdorf. We didn't really think it worked that well, but we'll see how they can use it. Sacrificing IS7s for STIs.
Obviously not feeling that the RU251 did anything for them in their last game, so they've decided to change it up.
Yes. Hapke sticking with the same setup. See if one are going to go aggressive and just push again.
Again,
like to see
one
it
could have
again.
just held that flank with the 4 IS7s and just sent the 50B and the 50Bs and the RU around and just killed the T54 lightweight and the T62A, but they decided to just go straight for the push.
Let's see. Have I stopped the spawn? I don't think yet. Have I?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Hapke were on the south spawn and they're on the
Okay.
north
Perfect.
spawn now.
Thank you. Let's begin then.
Hey. Well done. Let's see what happens. I hope that game, this game's going to be just as intense.
Yeah. One going straight with the ST1's 50B and
Crazy looks AFK here. Oh, he's only just got into the battle.
Oh,
See if he can get in quickly if one decided to do the
so they're like
straight
one are
push.
going to rush. Looks like one are going to play it a bit more calm.
Again, Hapke sending the 54 lightweight to cap A, and there's no one
Being out traded.
to contest there.
Pakistan unfortunately bounced his shot. He probably should have penned that.
Ooh, Romka's
Wow,
going for quality. There we go.
Romka.
2 shots in a row now.
This is the problem with the STI.
David
It's
should be able to
really
rip him
good, but
apart
you
now, just
can
shooting the
pen it.
cupola of that
He's not really
STI.
making the smart play here. He should be going up on that hill, like angling up. But now even the guys
Easy.
inside have shots on him. So
Pakistan's going to go around and get the kill.
No, he's just making the
Let's
cupola
bounce.
easy for him.
Should be.
Well, he's turning his turret for Crazy in Sakistan, and he's
Yeah,
gone.
David takes him out. Yeah.
Wow, Hapki.
Position.
They've got a tank for pretty much no return.
And they have 2 bases right now, Hapkey as well.
Yeah, big cap
About-
advantage as well then.
What's up? That's a good amount. What the first gonna
Hapkey
do?
looking strong on Himmelsdorf so far. Again, the ST1's just taking so much damage here. Romanov just taking a shot
players
from
here
there.
though. Hapki just threw the 62 in the lightweight, just at the very back, waiting for a push from one, which is
And the-
keeping on A.
Yeah, it's
But
gonna be the 50Bs. I
this
thought
is
they made
open
you in the first
one
match.
here to counter push.
Hapki are going into D. They've noticed this. Okay, to be interesting. Can they get D safely? Can. They're going to actually be able to flank through the left road here, the banana road as it's called on PC. Not so much of a banana on Blitz, but they can actually go through there and they'll be able to shoot into the back of the I7.
They have got the tank overlap here while the 50Bs are rotating around. Not sure why they aren't pushing right now.
And the 54 lightweight is getting his arse ripped open by the 50Bs.
Hapkey
He's going to be able
finally
to get
calling the push
away.
here. Crazy and
Now going to
Sakistan
go
going in.
now.
They're going to focus the ST1 first, but he bounces a few shells.
You need to penetrate the ST1 here if they want to.
He's only on 13 health, and he's gone.
They need to take down Yuri as well.
No Limit is
really
also
quick.
getting focused down here in the open by the 600.
They need to
Yeah,
take
in the
him
middle
down
of the
quickly.
FE. Yes.
They need to cover their one shots as well.
I mean, it's going to need one more shot.
Don't let the
FE.
one shots die.
Someone needs to cover Sakistan, and they didn't cover Sakistan, and Sakistan's gone. And now
Hapki still have 2 tank advantage though, and they still have the cap.
They're pretty good HP as well.
Wow.
The tanks that they do have.
Perfection's reloading, which means the SI7 for Hapki's be able to run away for. Oh no, he is going to get hooked into.
Yeah, the T62A should be able to cap B here, and
This is still looking solid for Hapki though. 4-2 in terms of tanks.
Yeah. I think
They still
London
got
needs to pull forward here and not get killed by no skills.
Yeah, David and Crazy have got all the hit points though.
Nice chunk out of no skills there. But
50B
David
YOLO in
does
forward
bounce.
looking for the
Crazy's going behind him,
T62A, it
and
looks
Crazy's
like.
in a very good position to shoot him, but 50B will be able to flip him if
They
he does.
shoot the 50B here. 62A hold down. He may be able to get one more
That's
shot
straight on
away.
there.
Nope.
T62A
gets
does
taken
go down.
but this opens an opportunity here for Happy.
Rihad does go down as well.
Yeah,
First the Lions
Looking
have
like
the
they
cap.
need to take down no skills right now.
Yeah,
And they've done it.
yeah, one still have a chance here, to be honest, because they're taking the caps. So if they can just cap Happy,
Crazy needs to go around behind Derenko
Crazy
here.
needs to. Yeah, Crazy really needs to go.
yeah,
He's
Happy
the one
really
with
needs to make
all
a
the
move
hit
here.
points.
Like they're wasting too much time, I think. And Derenko takes 2 big shots there, and he's going to be rushing now. So can David reload before he kills them both? Oh, this will be close. He does kill him. Derenko
Get it.
get killed. But now it's Crazy versus Perfection.
And
over the cap.
Perfection has
And-
3 bases right now.
Yeah,
He just needs to run. Perfection just needs to run.
yeah. it's
Move
probably
back.
gonna go to 1.
Moving back
No,
and
Just activate the
first is gonna
speed boost and off he goes.
Over.
No. Well played by one there to pick up the final game.
Because
It was looking good for Hapki at the start, but I think their push was just too late called.
had the guns, but they didn't really have the hit points to go with it. They were all too much on 2 tanks, and it was too easy to level up. David again,
David with the
4K on Himmelsdorf. He must really love this map. Fortunately, he couldn't quite carry his team to victory this time. And Hapki, this is interesting, doing, what's that, almost 1,000 damage more, but losing the game. 1,000 damage more. Still,
to the T62 and the T54 lightweight, whereas one had the ST1s.
the Lions dominated in the early games, and Hapki were unfortunate that when it did get close, because they had been dominated earlier, they didn't have the room to make an error. Certainly unfortunate.
At least they didn't go down 5-0. They did manage to get a game off of one there.
Pretty nice.
Anyways, I mean, the last game was extremely close. Other games, one was a bit more dominant, I'd say, but Happy did make a stab at it. And, you know, they are a very good clan, definitely one of the top 8 clans in the EU, probably. So they still fought quite well. I think, you know, even getting into the Gods League Pro is quite a good achievement, even though they are not going to be progressing into the semis. So I think that's it done for today. The semis will be taking place tomorrow, basically. And those will be, first semi will be Legion versus Loka at 20 CST. And then second will be Raid versus 1 at 21:15 CST. It's only best of 9. And then the finals will be taking place on Saturday. So yeah, stay tuned for those guys to see who gets to the final and who wins in the end. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. And thank you very much to James and to Gaz for commentating today. They did a great job.
No props.
Yeah, I think that's it. Guys, anything else to say? Any conclusions?
Not really, no.
No.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, good night, guys. See you. Thanks.